You know what, the movie is in trouble when the title is supposed to be ironic. Hello once again, watchers of Good Movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is, again, kind of from a hotel room for whatever reason. So, now, today we're going to be talking about the film Masterminds, the last film from September, which I am reviewing, and so let's talk about it. Now, apparently, this is a biopic. How close it is a representation to the actual event, which took place, I have no idea, because this is a comedy, and so they probably exaggerated a lot. The general premise is that there is a security guard who drives armored trucks for a living. He's played by Zach Galifianakis, who's a fantastic, funny actor, and he has always dreamt of adventure, or at least some sort of exciting thing happening in his life, because he's seen videos and movies of people driving armored vehicles getting robbed at gunpoint, and he always wanted that to happen to him to see if he could man up and kind of fend off the criminals. And just nothing exciting ever happened in his life. He's in a marriage that he's not really that happy with, and when he ends up partnered up with Kristen Wiig, his life changes to some extent, and he decides to rob the bank, essentially, whose money he is moving around, and we have our movie. As I said, Zach Galifianakis, he's the star of the film. He does fine in his role. I didn't really have any issues with his performance. His accent was a little bit weird because he has like this southern accent for the majority of the film. It kind of threw me off a few times, but it wasn't anything majorly wrong. Kristen Wiig is sexy as all hell in this movie. I'm just going to say that. And she also does a good job in this film. We have 3 out of the 4 Ghostbusters in this movie, and so it's kind of a strange fact that that ended up happening. And we also have Owen Wilson, who's kind of the mastermind behind this whole plot. He is this guy who just wants to get rich, and so he uses Kristen Wiig and Zach Galifianakis as characters to rob this bank and get himself rich. Now, there are some funny parts in this movie. I did chuckle quite a lot just in bits and pieces throughout the film itself. There are just funny parts of the dialogue which got to me, which I just found kind of funny. There's a part where Zach Galifianakis is trying to withdraw money from a bank, and he's saying poor favor, and I don't know, I just found that very funny to see. That's really the only good thing I can say about the film. Otherwise, it's a very awkward movie for the most part. It's not as awkward as When the Bow Breaks, thank God, but it has a lot of awkward dialogue, which doesn't really fit. Part of that is due to Kate McKinnon's character. She's funny in Ghostbusters, and I think that she's a good stand-up comedian, but in this film, she just seemed very, very off and very just awkward as a character. Maybe that's what she was going for, but I just did not feel comfortable in any of her scenes. There are also parts with Jason Sudeikis as this bounty hunter, which are very hit and miss for me, because there are parts where I really enjoyed his character and his relationship with some of the other characters throughout the film, but there are other parts where it's just like, he just kind of went too far for me. But the main thing is that the story of this film just isn't all that interesting, because once they rob the bank, Zach Galifianakis is separated from the rest of the cast for the majority of the film, and it just doesn't really work as an ensemble film or as anything really quite that interesting as a result, because we just have him more or less running from the law and slowly figuring out, oh hey, I've been played. I never really felt there was also any chemistry between any of the main actors, because you had them in scenes together, but just never really felt like there was any sort of connection between them. Again, there are funny parts here or there, but I just didn't really feel like there was any really good spark or chemistry between any of the main actors in this movie, and it's just really disappointing as a result, and again, it's part of why the film felt very, very awkward to watch. But as it is apparently a biopic, it does have a biopic-esque ending where it shows us what happens to the main characters after the events of the film. I did enjoy seeing that part because I got to see the actual pictures of the characters who these actors are portraying and see what happened to 2 of them, and we got to actually see Zach Galifianakis' actual person next to him, and that was kind of a cool thing to see. And the credits have bloopers, which I thought was actually very, very fun to watch, because not many comedies, to my knowledge at least, have bloopers in the credits anymore, and it's just kind of a refreshing thing, and it kind of made the film a little bit more fun for me, because you get to just see the natural chemistry between the actors when they're not playing these very awkward characters, because these are all very, very funny people, and I've seen them in comedies in of themselves, and they're all good actors when they have good material. They were all just given very weird roles, and it's just a very strange movie, and it's no wonder that was delayed so much. So, yeah, I don't know. Masterminds, it's fine. It's okay as a comedy. But again, I just found it to be very, very awkward. Maybe you'll find it hilarious. Maybe it's the comedy that is more suited to you. But for me, I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I thought I had some funny moments. I thought Kristen Wiig was sexy as all hell. But outside of that, nothing really for me in it. But guys, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, share, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. And as always, people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.